Hey y'all, this is Trent Knox with the Trent Knox Show. This is episode number 78, and it's a big one. It's long overdue, and as you can see in the title, this is the 2020 quarter one recap. I'm doing it about halfway through the quarter. Or not actually, there's 4 quarters, 3 months, whatever, just a little bit early or whatever. Could be doing it at the beginning of April, but we're going to get it out through here now. In this episode, it's a doozy. It's a long one, and I felt like it was long overdue. I feel like I needed to talk about what's been going on, and since I've been trying to push a little bit harder on my business. But I hope you enjoy the episode, and follow me on social media. Thank you. Hi, this is Trent Knox. I just wanted to thank you for listening to this episode. It means a lot to me that you would take the time out of your busy day to hear what my guest and I have to say. May I ask you of a quick favor? If you have gotten any value out of my podcast, please take the liberty to share the podcast link with your networks on social media. That would be extremely kind of you, and I would greatly appreciate you for being proactive and taking action. If you are feeling extremely generous, there is the option of becoming a paid subscriber of the show. Go to anchor.fm/TrentKnox/support. For as little as $1 a month, you can help produce this show. Once again, thank you for your support and enjoy the rest of the episode.
I just roll the dice, pack up in the Audi, back and go, little Joe. I just hit my 40, gripping on some grain, swinging like I stole it. Shorty got big thighs, juicy how she poking. I just roll the dice.
Oh, here we go. Hey y'all, this is Trent Knox with the Trent Knox Show. It's been a long time since I've got on here and did an episode. So as usual, this will be published on Anchor FM on what is the Trent Knox Show. And I've titled this particular episode, We Need to Recap. And I need to actually do a quick little recap myself, because I think I don't remember what episode I'm on. So let's look and see. Alright, so oh wow. So this is episode 78 of the Trent Knox Show. And like I said, this episode is We Need to Recap, because I did that show on January 31st or 30th. So it probably was recorded a couple days before that, but I have been working pretty much the whole month of January. Was committed to the Robert Gardner Wellness podcast. February was a long month of working on the Robert Gardner Wellness live online course. And while I enjoy doing that, it is very, very difficult. A lot of travel and shipping and handling, essentially. Packaging all of the cameras up and moving them to his facility in order to shoot for that. Now, the new production workflow with the multicam iOS system utilizing the Teradek Live action system. It is mobile and the most convenient way of accomplishing the projects that we have set out. It is still a complex system to get online, and it has its caveats and its issues. Being a mobile system, and there's been instances where we've been DDoSed and had to bring the systems back online. And yeah, so we've been doing our best to put together a multi-camera iOS production using the Teradek systems, and that's been okay. This is really the Trent Knox show, and I don't want to dive too much into what else has been going on as far as the esports stuff. I want to kind of, let that be its own podcast to discuss, not to discuss, but to have a more in-depth, specific conversation about the going-ons of DreamHack Anaheim, and additionally the Houston Outlaws inaugural Homestead 2020, which just occurred last weekend. I am feeling very, very, very exhausted. And I probably wouldn't feel as exhausted if I was more certain of the value that I'm getting from the work that I'm doing. I do feel like I'm climbing the ladder of life and grasping for rungs that aren't necessarily present. I don't know how to resolve this problem. I'm happy, definitely happy with the results that have been coming from the work that I've been doing and the side hustles that I've been working on, especially esports, and that's been most prevalent thing that I've been working on. I really haven't I haven't put a lot of time into these live streams and these podcasts for myself, and I can tell that kind of has created a void in my content creation. I don't necessarily feel an exorbitant amount of support behind these, but I do know that this does motivate people in the space to go out and do their podcasts and to do their content creation, whether that's in some sort of competitive aspect or in like a recollection of goals that they set for themselves that maybe they had forgotten about, and they go out there and they execute on those tasks. And I appreciate you, God Gamer 867, for following on Mixer. And I think that at this time, with the current events that are going on in the world and the pressing concern of health and safety, that people are being reactionary and in a way that we haven't seen in a while. Thank you for the sparks. we haven't seen people have this kind of this sort of defensive behavior in a while. It's been kind of a very, in my opinion, kind of passive aggressive, almost non-passive aggressive, more assertive aggressive behaviors, at least in social media, in content creation, and influencer marketing, and in so many different aspects. We've been seeing people kind of do their best to spearhead what they're doing and force themselves into situations. I appreciate that you believe me, man. And as they push themselves into situations, they might have taken risks a little greater than they anticipated or had thought. That, maybe they thought that they weren't really risks, or whatever the case would be. I think I'm in that position. I think I make my choices. I may be slower to make the mistakes that other people make, because I want to learn from other people's mistakes as well as learn from my own mistakes. So, it's like the whole concept of, if someone asked you to jump off a bridge, would you? And I'm more of kind of the person that's, sitting back, trying to gain perspective of why the person would jump off the bridge. And then if they found a small amount of value in jumping off that bridge, how can you maximize that value? Or if it wasn't, what not to do exactly. And so there's a lot going on. It's essentially the conversation of politics. I don't necessarily get into politics that much, but seeing people go about the voting system, and recently, and at least I don't know where my listeners are all from, but in the US, seeing the candidates on the Democratic side just drop out because they feel like they don't have a chance to compete against the system or the candidate that's running ahead of them, or whatever the case may be. And I appreciate it. And hey, what's up, Mr. Timo122 on Twitch? Thank you for tuning in. Recording a podcast that will be up on Anchor FM/Trent Knox. So if you want to listen to some past episodes, going over to Anchor.fm/Trent Knox. And if you would be so kind to look at possibly supporting this podcast by going to Anchor.fm/Trent Knox/support, it would be awesome. But anyway, so we've covered the major cultural event, and covered a little bit of politics. And I guess the third thing that people have been most concerned about is mental health. And with the passing of so many different, with a number of celebrities passing due to, the overdosing on drugs. When people, like, this happened a couple of years ago, but a Lil Peep, or more recently Juice WRLD passing away, and then even more recent than that, but Pop Smoke, being gunned down. It's like, while those are like very niche cultural things, and we haven't necessarily seen the majority have someone pass like sense of Avicii or Mac Miller. Um, it's something to think about, is the mental health aspect, because we do have a major health crisis going on. And Mr. Temo, we are recording a podcast. The podcast again is on Anchor FM. It is relatively difficult for people to feel like they're sane, or they feel like they're stable, or have a purpose in the world greater than just going to work and slaving away in whatever 9-to-5 job or independent contract work or whatever happened to be their calling, and your calling is not always going to be the thing that you enjoy most, the work that you find yourself doing, and I've been fortunate to connect with another streamer recently, and we've been talking about how this streamer needed to take a break, just get away from their work life and their in the content creation entertainment that they do on live streaming, and just kind of digress or kind of decompress the emotions and the logic behind what they're doing. That's what's up. Getting followers from Saudi Arabia now. I appreciate that. It's like halfway around the world, It's one of these things that one of the greatest things about the internet is you're able to connect with people in different cultures and different lifestyles. They may be experiencing the same kind of they might be experiencing sort of the same feelings in life, maybe not the same circumstances or experiences, but having the same feelings from for whatever reason, that their human experience that they have kind of makes them feel like they're yearning for something greater, or that they're they don't feel fulfilled in life, or for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that that's you, Mr. Timo. I don't know what you're feeling like, but I do appreciate that you tuned into the stream, and are here to listen to the podcast live as I record it. But as I was saying, it's I was talking with a streamer about decompressing, the things that we do in our lives, from hobbies to work to school to our dreams, our aspirations, and so many different things. And for me, I have dreams of owning my own production studio with a live soundstage and a fairly large green room, and some of the things that I've been able to experience in life, but never been able to financially afford myself, and I'm not, as I do this, I'm kind of thinking about the risks that I've taken in more recently, and trying to get closer to that dream, that vision that I have for myself. I want to accomplish, owning a production studio and having a production team and doing large scale video production, whether that's films or television, music videos, commercial video work, conferences, it's just, I go to these I go to these large conferences, like a South by Southwest that just got canceled because of the coronavirus. And I see these production teams of people, from photographers to videographers to PAs to producers to directors to cinematographers to just the plain old AV guys to the sound recording artists, or whatever technical person that's out there capturing the content and putting it on wax, putting it on film, putting it on digital, putting it on whatever they're going to put it on paper, and I have aspirations of doing that thing. And it's not to say that I'm not doing it, and I am very fortunate to have stumbled myself into a situation where I'm able to create content, at a pretty growing scale with Robert and RGW, which is his company, and we're able to do kind of things that I think are innovative and revolutionary for his industry as well as industries in general, because people still hold older forms of media in high regard, and there's still a lot of money and opportunity in older forms of media like television, newspaper, and radio, whereas new forms of media like online television or online video streaming or blogs, social media, it's a very insular, specific group of people that are benefiting at scale from these outlets and these platforms. So I went to go see about that by going to Los Angeles. I had big hesitations to not go to Los Angeles and Anaheim for DreamHack, and the hesitations were ones that I think anybody might have in a situation where you don't know where you don't know anyone that is there. I was going alone and solo. When I go to, a local event, I have a few people that I can call on and see, hey, do you want to be a part of this production? And generally they show up or whatever, but I mean, I do my best to provide them value back, and sometimes it's the experience of being a part of that thing, but sometimes it's money, and I'm willing to do that now. I'm willing to cut my pie, the small amount of pie that I have, to get the experience that I want to have in my life. So by going to Los Angeles, I thought that potentially that could be something that happened for me, is that I would get into a production situation by being in the right place at the right time to have a conversation with someone about big budget production and doing camera operating or doing sound engineering or doing some activity, but it just for whatever reason that was not the reality that happened. I met good people. I met great people while I was out there. They just aren't necessarily the avenue to success. They are building blocks for a potential, I don't know, for some potential transformer or for some potential Power Ranger, Megatron, whatever thing. But that lottery ticket, lottery ticket, I don't know, spontaneous, out of nowhere miracle situation, it didn't happen. That potential that people talk about Los Angeles, about that area of just like, winding up in a situation or stumbling into a situation. And to be honest, thinking again about the Robert situation, I didn't really stumble into that. I had intentions of providing a service to him, and that I knew he was looking for, and I knew I could facilitate and execute on, which I have. It's been a long time. Oh man, tough times, man. It's real tough times. I hope that you find mental stability, OPG Gamer Bro 98. People are a little bit extreme maybe though. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough stuff to deal with, and reading that is tough. This person is struggling enough to say that they're willing to end their life. That is something very, very difficult to deal with. Social awareness, and the word that I'm looking for is social skills and social anxiety are two things that people don't necessarily have the resources and support systems to get better. And Gamer Bro, I'm gonna do my best to talk this out, because I think that I've been in a situation like that before, where I contemplated the suicide question, and I can't say that I went through that and found a 100% pivot in life. I think I still struggle. I definitely still struggle with accepting myself. I definitely don't feel 100% accepted in social environments. That's definitely something that I struggled with while I was in Los Angeles. Uh, you know, I think that I think that one of the things that I'm struggling with is personal image. I think it's tough to maintain the image that I want to see for myself. I also think it's very tough to know what image that other people see, uh, and I want to make the language that I use right now very. I want to make the language that I use right now very universal. Um, I want it to be easily understood and not complex, so that everyone that hears this message can use this as a kind of like a safety blanket in a situation that they feel that they're an outsider, or they feel as if people don't like them. And oh man, this is really emotional. Um, you for what I do in a situation like that is I have to remember that people are dealing with their own battles. You know, uh, no, everyone's not out to, everyone's not against me, and vice versa. I'm not against everyone. So, um, there's not this constant offense defense going on, and it's not, every situation is not that simple, as in I'm right and you're wrong, or you're right and I'm wrong. Offense defense situation. uh Sometimes it's a lot more complex and complicated than even you can conceive or understand, because there's multiple different relationships. There's multiple different conflicts and relationships occurring in a situation. So you may be aligned energy wise, maybe not philosophically, or maybe not I was going to vomit on those words, religious, bleh, gross. But you're not, your behaviors don't align with the person's particular energy or magnetism in that moment. And so you become kind of repulsive. or rejecting or kind of um, repelling toward those individuals, and you know what, it doesn't matter what you do. It does not matter what you do to make changes to your life or try to be better. There will always be a opposition to that particular thing, that particular action, that particular behavior, that particular mannerism, lifestyle, whatever it may be. People are going to see that as a negative, and you would like for most people to like you, and for you to be well liked, but you can't please everyone, and so while you strive to be popular, or you strive to be well liked in a situation, or to be at least just tolerable, or maybe just kind of there, recognized. Yeah, and that's where maybe I'm there. That's where I'm at. I'm struggling a lot to be recognized. Not like, well, maybe it is like a physical recognizing the person. I can't say that as I'm getting older, it's easier to have a consistent image. It becomes more difficult. As I get older, I get more exhausted and fed up with the crap and bull crap. And this is just like the life that I guess I set aside for myself as I got older. You know what I mean? It's great. And not figuring out how to accomplish things that you set out for yourself when you were younger. So feeling kind of like unaccomplished. That's another thing that you have to deal with. And I guess the answer to the question about what should you do if you feel like life is not worth living anymore, is face the facts. Figure out why. Figure out the issue that got you there. Why do you feel like the thing is over? Life is over. What did you not accomplish today, over the past year? What for whatever reason, for me, the trouble is not knowing what to do half the time, not knowing where to go half the time. Just trying to kind of chip away at something, whether it's this right now, doing this podcast, because I do have something to say. I do have things to recap on, subjects that have occurred, and emotional strife physical, experience problems, going through things and not being able to get it done. And then I apologize for the dog barking in the background. She must be excited to go outside. And we're working on a little bit over 30 minutes here on this podcast. And I think we should talk about where I currently am with my New Year's resolution of fitness and getting to the gym. Well, it has been inconsistent as of late. I made it to the gym one time while I was in Los Angeles. That Friday, I made it. I went and I grinded it out in the hotel. But then I got back and I missed 2 days. Because I did the shoot. Maybe I only missed one. No, Monday. I got back Monday night and I had no energy. And then Tuesday I did the shoot. Wednesday. Wait, I think I went Wednesday. So I went Wednesday and then I left. I left to Houston and I didn't work out on Friday. And then I didn't work out on Monday. Then I didn't work out on Wednesday. And I didn't work out on Friday. And that back-to-back, man. If I was in my physical shape before and I went to Los Angeles and then I went to Houston, I would have never been able to make it happen. And mentally, I'm definitely struggling. Mentally. And it's just exhaustion. It's exhaustion. And just so much to process. Oh man, so much to process. And one of the things that I think while I was in Los Angeles was something I was thinking about a lot. And actually, a little bit ago, I was talking about this a little bit. Was trying to figure out how to relax. I feel so high strung. I feel constantly that you have to go get it. Like that's one of the things that I've been struggling with is like I'm so stressed constantly that I walk around life, and I've started to notice this with my fist balled up, clenched. I drive drive my car, my hands on the wheels, I turn it to just gripping, holding on to dear life as I drive down the highway at 70 miles an hour, hoping that I'm fine, that I don't make a mistake, and that some other person on the road doesn't also make a mistake, and that this is not the day. You know what I mean? That this is not the day that it's an accident. That I can make it safely to point A and point B. And
and get over whatever that hump of driving somewhere is. And yeah, so I've been so stressed, and the gym for the past 2-3 months has been somewhere where 25% of my stress has been able to go, and I've been able to put it into that bucket and exercise those demons. And even on a gym stream that I had done, Knives mentioned that I had the angry, demonic LeBron James getting it face. And I'm generally in the gym very angry, just trying to kill it, because in my mental state that I'm currently in, are just constantly stressed and frustrated. And I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured out life. Life for me is very difficult. Checks and balances, tick, 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 time, management, being a part of some social circles or whatever, communicating with people while I can fake it or whatever, and like on podcast, if you want to call it faking it, but I can kind of force it. I can talk to myself. I can talk to other people and carry conversations. The trouble is when it comes to a one-on-one thing outside, small talk, dude, no way. Can't do it. I can't do it. The steaks, the shrimp, the potatoes, the whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I struggle with finishing things. I struggle with opening conversations. I struggle with finishing conversations. I struggle with creatively thinking about things to say. Just like everyone else. But for some reason, there are people who can go to work just making sure I have no boogers. Even though it looks like it, I don't have any. Go to a 9-to-5 job and knock out that 9-to-5 job and perform well and get their reports done and stay in good terms with their bosses, with their fellow peers and whatnot, and I just can't do it. I don't know. I can't. I get into these kind of work environments and I either kind of just check out, like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I can't keep up with people's nonsense. Like, for me, what I do is I like try to keep the drama to a very low, like very low minimum. I don't hit on. I don't. I I don't, and I pretty much. Yeah, you're right. Someone's got to do it, but it ain't got to be me. Uh, I do my best not to jump into conversations with women that are in relationships. Not to say that there are circumstances where you just start talking to a female. You don't know from Adam what's going on. You're just trying to get to know the person, trying to figure out what's what, and come to find out they got a long credit history with boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend, and they're currently in a relationship, and you're like, and you honestly want to tell homie, like, yo homie, your girl wildin', but you can't, because she out here wildin'. Like, I'm not, I've been in those situations before, and personally, I don't want to go back to anything like that. And a situation like that put me in my last Great Depression, man. And right now, I feel like there's a recession about to occur. And there's been a recession going on, at least in my life, for quite some time. About 2015 started that recession, and then I had a Great Depression. And I'm coming out of that Great Depression. You know what? I'd say the Great Depression happened in 2015. It got worse, and it became a nuclear like nuclear holocaust. Giant bomb dropped on my life. And not to say that there was no way to that there wasn't things that I thought about that could have altered those circumstances, where the relationships that I was getting involved in, I could have asserted myself in another direction, but you'd never know what the results of those things would have been. And at the time, man, I did not want to make no new friends, no new old friends, nothing. I just wanted to go through life. In about 2017, I just wanted to meet a girl and kind of work and just kind of figure out some stability. What a dream. That still has not happened. I got myself a little 9-to-5 job, which turned out to be a multi-level marketing scam. Met some new friends out of nowhere, and I love this. And it turned out to be like another kind of low for me. Went through that. And now I'm kind of where I'm at today, but I get bad news, constantly. Events canceled. People don't want me to be somewhere. Or not that people don't want me to be somewhere, but there's just really no reason for me to be there, Maybe it's because I'm trying to grow this weird beard. Or maybe it's because I'm growing my hair out. Or maybe it's because of a number of reasons. Maybe it's because, like E.C. Ruddox says, you're talking to no one. It's like, oh my God, you know what? You're so right. Because I'm a nobody. I'm a no one. So it's not that enlightening, you know. I'm trying to figure out how to talk to more people. I have asserted myself into real life situations. Um, you know, when I was growing up, I don't know how old you are, but I am 26 years of age, and throughout my childhood, I lived online as well as you do. Probably. I played online video games like Call of Duty, Halo, World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3, and I played all of these computer games, and at no point in time did I play them competitively. I didn't even really know that competitively playing video games existed other than beating like your local childhood friends or somebody that went to school with you wanted to 1v1 you in Madden or something. I don't know. But you get 1v1 you in Call of Duty, trick shot, sniper, life, whatever. And well, I'm 26 and now competitive esports gaming is a reality. That is something that you can do for a living and do. And thank you for the follow on Mixer Explorer 1. And so I've tried to assert myself into that industry. And I've built up a rapport for doing good things. Creating content, putting it out, and people enjoying it. You know, maybe I'm not a big streamer, but I'm producing content. People are seeing it, and yeah, maybe that'll be different one day. But maybe I am the content creator for no ones and the content creator for nobodies because I'm a nobody. So yeah. And if I had something to sell you, I would sell it to you right now. But I don't have anything to sell. I'm working on it. I published some things on, I'm still trying to get my Amazon shop up. I'm trying to get a Shopify shop going. I'm trying to have a website. I am trying to create an online learning platform for esports professionals, for families, people interested in esports, kind of getting a foundational understanding of esports in layman's terms instead of all this that people are always doing in esports, where they're like, "Oh, you weren't part of the 1972 Dream Team. You didn't play Frogger. You didn't play Space Invaders competitively. Double champion blockbuster." Ugh. Garbage. There has to be an entry point for people who are not sweaties, that are good at the game, but their parents didn't necessarily support them till they were 29 years old. 37 years old. They're finally getting into the game. And this is probably why I admire Gary Vaynerchuk so much, is because his message is that it's not over. However old you think you are, you think that you've hit the pinnacle of the person that you could possibly be. That's hilarious. Work harder. Stop being a baby. Stop whining around. It's just started. It's the first quarter. It's not. You're not even to the 2-minute mark. You're not 2 minutes into the quarter. that's the philosophy behind some of that motivational, that motivational talk that people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, Jocko Willink, people like that talk about. And I enjoy listening to their podcast. It's been a kind of a dry spell lately for, podcast, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. It's been kind of a dry spell. And even the content creators that are close to me, like Brian and Knives, I think it's just been difficult to create content. They've created content. It's just the leveraging and trying to figure out what to do. And making that work in your own schedule. The things that you need to accomplish. Knives set out to accomplish something that I tried to do, which was do a daily podcast. And that is a very difficult thing to accomplish. You see content creators out there, live streamers that are literally grinding every single day, and they've gotten to a point at which there's an audience that is watching them and watching them for the content that they create. And they get that 100 views, that 30 views, whatever it is, concurrent CCU. And that can kind of drive you to continue streaming. But for me, I don't care about, well, I do respect CCU, a high CCU. I don't care if you got 10 concurrent viewers. I respect that. That means you put in the work. Or at least that means you spent the money. I mean, you advertised to get to the point. At least you knew a little. You have some like mental. You have the mental capability of putting it on wax or on film or whatever to get it done. I see content creators that go to things like PAX East, and I wonder, like, I mean, they say I feel like I have a booger, but I don't know. That's just me checking my nostrils for boogers. And I hope the live stream can point them out, but they're not. Whatever. Yeah, I see people go to things like PAX East, and I see it, and I don't know, like, I am not there yet. I'm just not there yet. I'll be there. One of these days, I'll get there. Like, I haven't made it to PAX South. That's in San Antonio. That's down the block. Like, I mean, it's not down the block, but it's within commuting drive. You can get there, and I haven't made it. I made it to South by. I made it to DreamHack Dallas. I made it to DreamHack Anaheim. I did that. I got there. I can't believe I got there. And even, you know what, I'm going to have to work another 20 years to afford having made those risks, taking those risks, taking those chances. Man, you know, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I didn't take a risk. If I didn't take the risk to go to DreamHack Dallas, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Forget about this, you know, view count, CCU stuff. If I didn't make the decision that I need to invest in my business, which is my video production company, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Even though, you know, I'm not making any money really. It's like I'm barely scraping by. I can't afford to live on my own. I still live with family. I still, you know, try and figure out what to do. Like, I'm still struggling, and this is basically going on hour 2 here, and I feel like this is going to be a really long podcast. I still don't know. I don't know. I'm still trying. I'm collecting these thoughts, trying to push. You know, whether that's the services, the solutions, some sort of product, trying to figure it out. Life, business. And now I feel like I'm getting an ugly face. Like I'm mad. And I am mad. Because if I don't know if people are like me. I can't tell if people have the motivation or the willpower or are willing to make the sacrifices that I make to get it done. Because I know that unemployment is on a high. Unemployment is something that people are struggling with. And I am self-employed. I am not meeting any sort of minimum wage by any means. I wish I could get to the point at which I was making minimum wage. I'm having to leverage debt in order to even survive. So I don't know what these folks are doing that are getting $1 million seed fund rounds, or what position, where they come from, their relationship management skills. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't met somebody that's not. I haven't met anybody that's a straight shooter. That's like telling it to me straight. That's got the answer. You know? It's been interesting to see the insides of Robert's business and being able to kind of see where things could be connected that weren't connected and try and move them forward. I guess that's the best way of explaining it, because I'm not a programmer by any means. Like, I've tried to program websites, and I still feel kind of like responsible for some websites that we've put together, or I've put together, and been like, where the client or whatnot wasn't really invested, and they were like just not, they'd spend the money, but they weren't like really like invested. Like they had no idea what they were doing. And I'm in that position now with my own business. It's like I'm building my own website, I'm getting my own apps, and I'm doing this stuff. And which reminds me, now I gotta go back and clear up where the hell one of my apps is. But it's like, how do you compete against the big dogs? And this is something, I don't know when this interview is going to come out. It was a like a verbal written word of mouth interview with Brian recently over messenger chat, and he was like, man, and this is me kind of rephrasing what he was saying, is like, you have, this isn't the exact story, but I'm going to tell you what the story was. So the story of my life basically is that I came back to Austin, to where kind of, I'm from the greater Austin area, and I came back here thinking that potentially the film industry or the music industry, there would be enough work to get to the outskirts, but realistically, the whole industry could be ran by 5 big production houses. And there sort of is 5 big production houses. But they're kind of like more, they're not just local by any means, and the local people, even they like contract people that aren't local. So it's kind of like a weird, and I think this is the case wherever you go. Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, Denver, Los Angeles, New York, wherever you are, any metropolitan hub city, is that people will contract people based on word of mouth, especially at scale. Like situations where there's a large event, they may like use the video production crew that maybe somebody or some other company recommends to them. Investing in a local person or production company, they have to have an intended intention to go. They have to have motivation, intention, to go with somebody from the local community. And that doesn't matter where you are, I don't think. That company, that large scale company, medium scale company, has to want to give back to the community that they're in. And that is a very, I think, unpopular thing to do. Companies and those people that work at those companies, they don't give a shit. they will, those are the type of people that will throw trash into the middle of the road, and type of people that get big gulps at 7-Eleven and throw them out the window in road rage. It's a weird cultural place that the corporate culture is in at this time. It's like people will kill for a nice cozy corner office, a little corner office with the View and and the $6 million salary, they'll kill for that. They'll run their brother over. They'll run their sister over. They'll run their family over for that thing. In that environment. I mean, maybe outside of that environment too. I mean, in the enterprise business, in the corporate world, in the large, medium, and small business world. I guess those are all kind of smashed together. Your mom and pop restaurant, whatever living situation you may be in, or whatever working situation that you may be in, startup, definitely a cultural thing, because I don't see that in the street behavior. I feel like the people who are guerrillas, the people who are in the street hustling, that are trying to move product, provide services, be like a door-to-door guy, a real ground, soldier in the streets, not these, officers in the street, like hustlers. Yeah. Respected people. Not to say that, desk soldiers or whatever are not respected, but, and right now, look at me, going off on a podcast, fucking hypocrite. There went my light. I gotta get another light for my cameras. Just give me a moment real quick. My camera light died. It's just like very difficult. There are these, corporate chain stores like Best Buy or Verizon or, Target, Walmart, that you get a manager position. You get a strong manager position, $40K a year. You can buy yourself a Prius if you saved it all up. And then people just financially can't. They have 6 kids. Ironically that. Well, I actually ran into a situation actually vastly different than that. But that's the story that you hear most often, is the retail or what's the word for it? Not office. An office job, but not like telemarketing or anything like that. What's that called? The type of job where you just like basically assistant, you're in HR, or you're just kind of like, you know, your job is to push paper, collate things, you know, get the TPP reports. You gotta crush it, man. You know, like, man, dude. But then you see these rappers, you see these actors, you see the dancers, you see the streamers, you see the singers, you see these people that are out there doing art. You don't really see photographers or you know, directors or producers or anything like that. I mean, you got that producer Michael guy on YouTube, but you don't see them out there flexing. But you hear sometimes about the, you know, the corner office guy. He's at the strip club. You know, he's out there throwing the dollars. He's making the girls shake it. Or maybe they're at a gay club or whatever, and they're making the dudes shake it. You know, I gotta make sure that both demographics are covered, you know? Because there's not only one way to make money these days. There's not just one culture. You gotta think about it all. You gotta make sure that you can sell products, solutions, services to everyone. Because no dollar is different. All dollars are the same. Unless you're some elitist. And so now that I just ranted on about that, what I was saying is that Brian interviewed me and said I was competing against the big dogs, which when I think of big dogs, at least when we're talking about Austin Live and Local. Did the camera just die? I think the camera just died. Let me look and see. The camera just died. Oh. Crying my eyes out. That's alright. We're just going to switch to this other camera. It will be no problem. Oh, that was the microphone. Whoops. There we go. Whatever. There we go. There we go. We'll just go like this. Move this. Move this over. Whoop. Move this kind of over to where the other camera is. Or was. And I'll move this over so I can still see. Anyway. Kind of want to tilt this down. So as I was saying, he was talking about the big dogs, you know, and competing with the big dogs. And, you know, I'm wearing some Common Chaos merch. You probably couldn't see it in the other camera. Austin Live and Local versus like Do 512 or versus Austin 360, Austin Monthly versus all of these people. But in honest to God, truth be told, I'm just happy that anyone's producing any content in relation to Austin and I'm willing to share whatever Do 512 is, Austin Monthly. That's the content that I'm willing to make, to amplify, to make it bigger, in any possible way that I can use my tools to do it for free. Obviously there's a benefit to me to creating content, or to utilizing their content and making it have a broader audience, and for them probably some sort of scruples or pennies. No pennies for me, but audience leverage. And while I try to make something of myself through Austin Live and Local, through Cyber City Media, through Esports Business Network, through the whole parent company of 9 Keys LLC, it's just kind of trying to find some sort of way to create foundation. And whether that's product like Cyber City Media is currently dealing with, in which it's holding cameras, holding audio devices, holding all of these things in an attempt to create value from that thing. From those devices. And hilarious enough, if I'm left to my own devices, I might find myself in a big hole, because I can't not earn a revenue, a positive revenue from these investments that I've made on credit, on cash, on handshake deals, or whatever, for whatever reason. But I've never received funding with any sort of expectation or goal set. I don't even know what that looks like or what it means. I'm literally running a sole proprietorship, trying to figure out what an LLC, what that is, doing my best to just learn it all on my own, because there's no one out there that I connect with or have built a relationship with that knows what they're doing. It's hilarious to see how many different business owners I know that they there's different business owners that I know. They call themselves, or they don't call themselves, but they've built up a track record of making businesses. LLCs, S corps, C corps, these things. And I learned business like in the last semester of my college career, or my college experience, not career. I mean, you don't get to retire from career. What's up, Shane Can? What's up? Hey, baby. Nice. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. Anyway, you don't call it a career. I mean, I called it a career, but it shouldn't be called a career. It's an experience. 5 years of my life dedicated to going through college and receiving a degree that doesn't mean shit. Ail me shit. You know, Shane Can on Twitch. What? Did you see my text? What text? I didn't receive a text, did I? Seems you're insulated. Could you see my text? Nah, I don't have your text message on my cellular phone. Maybe you could try to send me another text. Or maybe it's on this one. Anyway. Yeah, so no competition. There's just me trying to figure it out. Just trying to see what people like to do. Shane, you let me know what you want to talk about, and I'll let you. We can chat about it for sure. Man, it's difficult, especially when you see other people. You are an intellectual, Shane. You are. It's difficult when you see other businesses and they kind of treat you poorly, like entrepreneurs that, you see other entrepreneurs and they're just like rude. They're just rude, and they're just like they don't want to see you succeed as well, or something along those lines. It's like they want to, I don't know, they want to like look down on you. Like, for what reason? Like, why treat other people that way? It is tough. It is definitely tough to know what's going on. And the majority of business owners that I know, they are older and they don't necessarily know they don't have all the answers. They're on the ropes too. They're just learning the ropes. Shane on Twitch says, "Thanks, bro. When I want to express my emotions, I always could say some words that are intelligible." Oh, couldn't. I always couldn't say. Man. I feel that. That's very relatable. Expressing emotions. Well, man, I live a very gray life. I mean, very black and white. Like, I don't have a lot of things that... I don't have a lot of drama, man. And when I get this sort of drama stuff that occurs in my life, I'm just like, God, man, why are all high being, all the network, internet, why does this drama happen to me? Why do I suffer from the drama? I hate it. I hate getting involved in drama. I hate seeing people complain I hate complaining, and then I get into my feelings, and that's that is what emotion is, and communicating anger, sadness, depression, communicating those things, and effectively communicating them by telling people why you're experiencing them. Oh man, that's even more difficult, because you don't want to air out dirty laundry about like particular people. I mean, for me, it's kind of specific for experiences that I've been going through recently, lately. I was gonna say recently, lately. I hate getting involved in drama as well. Shane says, "Yeah, it sucks. It really does suck." Because in recent situations, like I was asking, my family about this. It's like, these other people that are acquaintances or people that I've, met along the convention circus or whatever you want to call it, like the tour of conventions or whatever, that I've met people, attendees, for God's sakes, speakers, whatever you want to call them. And I'm trying not to disrespect them. It's just like that they've been rude to me, so I'm like, oh man. It's just being called a nobody. Like earlier, I got called a nobody, a no one, by a viewer, and it's like so true. It's like, how can you validate anything if people want to be like, people want to put you down when you're down. Like, people want to kick you while you're down, during the interval convention. During the interval convention. I'm sure that makes sense. I'm having a difficult time reading. This convention was DreamHack particularly, and I mean South by Southwest got canceled, so who knows, man. All this stuff going on that's preventing any sort of. I got this bottle that's bothering me being in the foreground. All this, in-person networking and word-of-mouth marketing, and networking. It's so frustrating just trying to make a name for yourself. Online, you see this, online networking or online marketing. Like, hey Shane, if you'd be so kind to give me a follow on Twitch, that would be awesome. But what can I do? What can I do to find other Shanes out there that and figure out ways to get to be, to make it easier and make people want to follow, and maybe it's graphic design, or maybe it's thank you Shane for the follow, much appreciated. But how do I make it easier or make it more appealing or attractive to follow? People drop in all the time, and they, maybe they don't hear what they want to hear, and they leave. You know what I mean? Maybe they're just in for the memes. Maybe they're into troll. But I have no clue. Otherwise, you know what? I bet that I would be streaming to a lot more viewers, and I'd be kissing a whole lot more ass. But again, I'm just not much into the drama of anything. Not into it, man. and there's a lot of drama to get into. You can call people out. You can like you clout chase. You can do a lot, but it'd be a lot easier if you could just work, in unison with people, and it'd be awesome if people didn't like. It'd be awesome. It would be awesome if there was a place where it didn't matter like who could or couldn't go to the party. It'd be awesome if there wasn't this like closed door, secret society stuff going on. It's just like, or don't let him know the secret, or don't let her know the secret, or whatever. If there even is really there, I'm sure there are secrets, but if there's a secret to success in any particular place other than just sacrifice, if there's like, anything more or a little bit easier than that, like not so much struggle, I guess. Maybe some viewers just intrude. No, nobody intrudes, or they might just be rude, but that was offensive, and I did not mean to say. I did not intend for people to feel offended by me calling them rude. I'm just saying that people who, are just in general, that I'm a viewer, and maybe I try, for me, I mostly watch content kind of like the content that I'm creating right here. People talking to a microphone, that's talking to a video camera, that's streaming live on Twitch, on mostly Twitch. And then I watch content on YouTube very like rarely now, but and then I'm just creating content or making some sort of thing on the internet. But I'm not, I'm not successful by any means yet, but one day, man, I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to be that guy. I got to go back and read these messages, Shane. Shane on Twitch says, I always feel sorry when I intrude someone's stream and say nothing, then leave. For my first intuition, you're a really good guy. Yeah, man. I hope that my first impression is that I'm a good guy. I think that there's a lot going on in this particular, video that I've got going on here, and this is kind of a relaxed looking, kind of professional looking stream at this moment. I think that what I had going on before you got into the stream was me kind of frustrated, just going off about stuff, and I think I'm kind of now getting to a point at which I'm dialing it back to some degree, or dialing it, just kind of going back to the what works. And this works. This works fine. It's not necessarily where I want to be. And I guess when people call me a wannabe or whatever, they call me a cloud chaser or something like that, or they call me a nobody. It's understandable, because I'm constantly trying to innovate and make myself better. So there's always going to be a better version there's gonna be a version that's already successful out there, like a Logan Paul or a Joe Rogan or a train wrecks on Twitch or people I look up to. I do respect those people. I show them a lot of respect. I have an intense feeling that you have integrity. Oh yeah, definitely, man. Absolutely. Like, that's a good word, man. Integrity. Yeah. That being said, I think I had to develop that. I didn't have, gaining experience as what it means to be an adult. That's where you learn integrity. It's like, you don't, there's multiple different ways to, especially when you're streaming or whatever, to end up on fail army or end up on live stream fails or end up on World Star or end up on any sort of, gotcha platform and look like an idiot. Be somebody that, be the clown of the town or clown of the platform, and maybe I do look like I got a red nose, but I'd not like to be that for sure. I'd like to think that, that what I'm doing is professional. I'd like to think that what I'm trying to accomplish by, documenting my life or documenting these sort of experiences that I go through, and hopefully someone, can learn something or can feel what I'm saying or can relate to what I'm saying, and build on their lifestyles. Shane on Twitch says, in real life, I saw lots of people intrigue some stuff. People. I'm not sure what that. I'm lost on that. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of strange things on the internet. That's for sure. And maybe I'm one of those toys on the island that has integrity but is intriguing, but is kind of doesn't fit the mold. I'm like the new thing, in the new toy in the toy box, because I feel like, for me, I feel like an Android versus like an Apple. Maybe that's that's a bad example. I just feel like that something that's constantly being upgraded. You hate intrigue. Why do you hate intrigue? What? Shane on Twitch says he hates intrigue, and I wonder why he hates intrigue, because I'm kind of, intriguing things are interesting things, and yeah. Shane, am I streaming on other platforms? Yes. Why? How did you know? Yes. I'm streaming on. Let me see. What are the platforms? Right now, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, Facebook, DLive, and Twitter. Those are the platforms that I'm streaming on. I am a partner, or not a partner. I'm an affiliate with Restream. I have like a code if you want to use Restream, and you want to, whatever you want to do. But it's all right. Ah, man, why not? Why not put content on every single platform? There's no reason to limit yourself. There's always the opportunity of gaining an audience on another platform. I also have no desire in being in my content being owned by someone else. I I'm an advocate for owning your content and being, you know, having possession of everything. Um, yeah, it's really a marketing tactic. Whereas like if I was gonna grind Twitch or if I was gonna grind Mixer or grind any particular platform, I might find that I'm just fighting up a fighting up a hill that there's really no success. There's no everything is saturated right now. You can pop off on one platform just randomly. It might be. I had a video go. I had a video on Twitter that hit 100 views. I haven't been really getting that kind of views on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, or anything like that. It was just me doing bench press on a Periscope, and yeah, I'm doing what I think will potentially give me the most views, most audience. My favorite platform is Twitch. Definitely. It's the place I spend most of my time. The trouble with Twitch is that it's it's oversaturated. There's literally a million streamers streaming constantly, and 85% of those streamers are streaming to 0 viewers. And yeah, it's just this is the strangest conversation, and I appreciate, Shane, that you took it this way, because I don't usually get to go off. I don't usually go down this route enough to talk about like my understanding of streaming. Twitch as a platform is in kind of a lull, and when I say that, it means that there's too many streamers streaming. 85% of streamers are streaming to 0 viewers. Categories are becoming too saturated, and it's put people in a situation, oh man, where they just don't know if Twitch is a viable platform. That's why you've been seeing certain streamers go to other platforms that are fairly large, like Facebook, YouTube, Mixer, for whatever it's worth. And they haven't been, Twitch as a platform, haven't been innovating, and they didn't deliver on some of the promises that they made last TwitchCon, San Diego, or maybe it was San Diego. They didn't deliver on those promises. They promised all these revolutionary monetization tools. They promised that they were going to improve the affiliate system, in which they somewhat have, but they haven't hit the mark on them. They talked about this channel point system that's supposed to be a competitor to the Spark system on Mixer, kind of allowing content creators to create more community engagement for free on their platform, and paying out on those on that particular channel point system. But that hasn't happened. That didn't happen. The payout schedules, sure, that got changed, but what does it matter if you're just like a 2 viewer Andy on Twitch? It doesn't matter. That's kind of where I'm at. Oh man, hey, yo, I got 100 messages today. Congrats to me. And Shane can said on Shane on Twitch says Twitch is having serious streamer lapse problems. Love my doorknobs. Oh yeah, those are pretty good, right? Those are pretty good doorknobs. I want to tweet this out. Log into Twitter. Oh no, wrong Twitter. Wrong Twitter account. There we go. Log into this one. Where's my phone at? 1 second. I'll be back to the podcast in a moment. Oh, wait. Wrong code. Got it. Tweeted that out. So what I was saying is basically like Twitch as a platform hasn't delivered on more monetization tools. You know, the whole concept of making it easier for content creators to stream on the platform by creating a web-based streaming system to compete with Streamlabs OBS or to compete with OBS or compete with XSplit. This internal streaming software for Twitch, where is that at? Today, you know, and then developing another sort of engaging gaming system platform thing like Twitch Sings. Like, as a platform, Twitch is not evolving. It's staying the same. You know, they made this kind of jump into this whole division of IRL, and like, what has that done? Nobody really uses any of the other categories. Just chatting, kind of, as soon as that jumped off, it's just chatting. You know, content creation in that regard. When you think about the rest of the categories, CS:GO, Fortnite, gaming content, League of Legends, Summers, whatever, those newer Riot games, whatever the hell you call them, Teamfight Tactics, Hearthstone. You know what? Just name any of the top 10 games currently, and they're just like, what? I mean, there's a couple of personalities that people follow. Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, which is on Mixer now, or I mean, not Shroud. Why'd I say that? Summit 1G, top 10. Like, I mean, top 10 streamers are the ones where the bulk of the streaming audience goes to, and who knows how many of those are you know, chat bots or view bots or whatever, you know, who knows. It does benefit Twitch to show larger numbers, you know, 100,000 viewers, 80, 60, 50,000 viewers. It benefits them to for their platform to be showing large number of concurrent viewers. But then you have, you know, YouTube, which is doing big numbers but has no discoverability, no like literally no visibility, no directory, no there isn't a efficient way of finding live video on YouTube. There's also, like, if you think about Facebook as a platform, like, literally live video on Facebook is a joke Like there's a live video section, but then like that's mostly content from outside the United States. Hell, it's mostly content not UK, not Canada. It's like mostly Southeast Asia, India, like South America. Like it's crazy like what kind of live content you'll find on Africa is like banging on Facebook, and maybe it's like this attempt to create diversity, but I have no idea. Like it's very much missing the mark for me, as far as like trying to find creative, entertaining content that's not QVC or the news, or like just like very strange. It's very strange. And then you have Mixer, which is like, who knows what's really going on there. If you're like a really, really diehard Ninja fan, or you're like a really, 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 really diehard Shroud fan, maybe. And Shane from Twitch is back, and he said, yesterday my landlady wanted to raise the price on my house and gave a lame reason. Tell me about that. What happened? What was the reason that his landlady wanted to raise his rent? I feel like just in general, living expenses are going up. Oh my lord. Shane says the reason why she said that is I think he's been watching a little bit too much of Pornhub. She said, I can't find her G-spot. I think I saw the exact same video that you saw on Pornhub. I'm almost certain I saw the video that you're making this joke from. This particular thing, if anybody follows that content, and I don't know who's creating that sort of content, because for me, I don't create content for adult websites, but if I did, but am I gonna? And that's for the memes. But anyway, back to this moderately adult content that I'm creating on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook. Follow me on all those platforms. And who is watching me right now? Somebody on Mixer, somebody on Facebook, somebody on D Live. Everybody's watching me. They're and you can follow me if you are on D Live, if you're on Twitch, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, Mixer. Hit the follow button, subscribe, lash me. You know what, Shane? You know what I gotta say is that I really appreciate you coming in here and helping me drive this show today. And part of this was like in my title is like a recap of a lot of things that have been occurring. Are you a real FaZe? I knew it. I was waiting for it. And Daggy P33, no, I am not a real FaZe. I am a FaZe fan. I like their CSGO team. I saw them compete in Dallas, and I like their branding. Oh, you knew it. Oh, you got me. I knew someone would get me. They got me. Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah, I'm 26, man. I'm past the prime of competing competitively in any video game. I'm not a sweaty, but phase up, man. Phase up. And Yeah, man. I hope they win the championships. I hope they take back home rings. You know, yeah. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say about FaZe Clan. I don't know. Favorite team, FaZe Clan. And I don't know. Today I'm wearing red and black. It just so happens to be a coincidence. And the flag in the back, obviously. Whoa, that's a trip. How did that happen? Mixer, Shane, Ken. How did that happen? That's a trip. Oy. Yeah, I'm 26. I look like 22. That's interesting. I appreciate that. I think it's probably this light and the angle on this camera and the fact that I got a little bit of a glow going on right now. And yeah. So, that's where we're at. It's the time of night we're at. But yeah, as far as like the platforms and everything, just trying to figure out, each platform has their benefits, and streaming to them in a multi-streaming way allows you to kind of get up in the view counts. So a moment there, I had a good 4 viewers, and they were all watching, and then I acknowledged them, and they disappeared. Not you, Shane, and not you, Daggy P33. You guys are hanging out because you're troopers. I think so. I wanna think so. Yep, you guys are dope. And those other 2 folks they must have just, dipped in, and they were like, oh, we're going to lurk for a minute. No offense to the lurkers. I'm a lurker. I lurk all the time. To the point at which I'm having dreams about streamers and content creators. And to the point at which I'm waking up from slumber from the dreams, and they're streaming, and I'm somehow back into their funnels, and I'm turning their stream on, and I'm programmed. They have managed to stream for so long that they have programmed them. They have programmed me to watch their streams. A Mixer, Shane Kane. Red or blue? Which one color is your prefer? Former or latter? I prefer red. Yeah. I want to see how far the Matrix goes. But yeah. So I'm happy streaming. I like streaming. I think it's like I don't know. I just enjoy doing it. It is a struggle. It's hard to start streaming. But it is easy for me to continue streaming. It's very easy to get past the marks or whatnot, talking or whatnot, and creating a long podcast like this one's gonna be a 2-hour. It's like, and talking, and fortunately enough, this particular podcast, I've been able to kind of ramble off a lot of stuff, and there's still stuff to cover, especially in this long podcast. And hopefully people will break it down and as they go, because since I did the podcast, the last podcast was January 30th, and it was talking about decompressing thoughts. There's a lot has happened, because we're working on March 6th now, and it will be more content on the way. now Mixer Shane on Mixer says, what stuff's in your lateral boxes? These ones? So, or what are you talking about? These shoe boxes right here? There's a hat right now. But yeah, I want to play more video games. I want to create more video game content. I got a capture card now, so I'll do my best to make some streams out of that. Should probably do like an hour. Oh, I wish I could put like 4 hours of gaming streaming in, but I gotta mine these categories. Like I play Madden, play Call of Duty, play NBA, play a little bit of CS:GO. Just mine these categories, try and do some variety gaming. Lateral shoe boxes. Okay, yeah. Well, so there's a shoe rack to my left. And there's all kinds of different stuff. There's just pretty much shoe boxes, and there's nothing in them, but they are in the camera. They're in the director's viewfinder of the camera. They are in camera. What else? What else needs to be said today? No, those are not Air Jordans. Those are Gary V's. They're actually K-Swiss, but whatever. They're Gary V K-Swiss collabs, which they're probably sitting somewhere else, but that's just the box. Oh, and then below, those are just some regular old Nikes. I've never owned a pair of Jordans. I have owned a pair of Air Force Ones. And there's a long story behind that, man. I had high top Air Force Ones. I had low top Air Force Ones. At one point in time when I was really young, I don't know what I was doing, but I gave my Air Force Ones to my uncle. He's a little bit older than me, not too much. It's like a step uncle. And he wore the Air Force Ones like they're like white as they're just like, you know, they're white. They're right out of the box. And he wears these shoes out into the yard, or into not the yard, but like out into the pasture on the farm, and gets him fucked up and muddy. It's just like so hilarious. Mixer Shane says, I don't like Nike shoes. A piece of crap or shit, he says. Okay, just irony. Yeah, you know what? The particular Nikes that I have, or that I got recently, they're actually a little bit big on me. I would have probably done a half size smaller. They're not extraordinarily big on me. Like they're 11.5. I could have done the 11s. Whatever. I think that I have kind of weird feet. I got like Frodo Baggins feet. Do I know Twitch jargon? I forgot what the character is of this. What is this? I can't remember. I forgot what I can't remember what this thing is. I can't remember what that emote is. I do know, but like, to be honest, I watch the content for the content, not for the inside jokes. Which is probably why the content is good, but I'm just like, I know Jebaited, and I know Jebaited because that's kind of connected to DreamHack. I know Pepe. I know Omega Low. This thing, I don't know. I don't know who that dude is. But yeah, so as Shane's saying right here, and this is an important thing to say about Twitch and about platforms in general, is you got to know the meta. I guess maybe to be successful, you got to know the meta. But with Twitch, there's a language to learn, a whole language of its own. These emotes, and these emotes are used in very unique ways. If you say jury in Twitch, that means you're gonna judicial stuff. You mean you're gonna lay down the hammer? I mean, I guess so. But yeah, I probably should finish this podcast up. Should probably let you guys go. And I feel like I gotta wrap something up here. I gotta put it into a nice box and put a bow tie on it, add a tag, and ship it off. No, I'm not gonna leave the live stream. I'm probably just gonna try and figure this out, how to end this podcast and make sure that the title makes sense of we've got to recap. Because January was the beginning of 2020. 2020. It's supposed to be this the phoenix rising out of the ashes, this renewal, this brand new energy, was supposed to start in 2020. This the people would begin to see with their third eye this world in a new, positive, revolutionary way. That's what the whole 2020, the vision, new vision. But no one's campaigning on that notion of a new vision, an enlightenment. Everyone's campaigning on this, keeping with the Joneses, keeping up with the Joneses, being like everyone else. I'm using here, I'll show you. It's called a Ulanzi V49 2000 milliamp light, and it's USB-C charged, and it turns on like that, and then it has 5 settings of light, and it's really bright. And I really like these things because they're quick. They charge up USB-C. They hold a charge for a long time. Like the last one, we were streaming for a long time before it died. And I think that one might have actually already been used a little bit, so the battery was worn down on it. They last for a while, but I got to figure out a way to keep my camera charged, because I just got this camera. It's the Canon EOS RP, and I have a nice Sigma 17 to 70 millimeter lens on it for video, and it was pretty crispy. But now we're using the Logitech Brio, and this camera that I'm currently using, thanks to Common Chaos. That camera is sponsored by Common Chaos. It's Brian and I purchased it for Austin Live and Local back when we were doing that thing regularly, and I'm still using it. Still trying to put work into it. Brian doesn't do very much video. He does photos. He likes photos and whatnot. He and Becca, his girlfriend, they're both into photography a little bit. Yeah. I didn't actually listen to their podcast in February. I just kind of droned it out. Yeah, February kind of felt like it flew by in ways, but we were creating content. We tried to put out 2 podcasts for the RGW show in February, but one of them just didn't work out. One of them did go out. It was the Nikkei Roach podcast. He's an entrepreneur, businessman in the health and wellness space, and hopefully that particular podcast helped people out. Who's someone who I can hear, and I in myself, and it's because I've been watching a lot of his content lately, is Bashiat. I relate to that dude. I don't know why, but like, I talk like that dude, and I notice it, and I don't know where the colloquialisms where he picked up the way that he talks, but I talk like that, and I don't know how. I've talked like that. He talks like that. I talk like that. We have kind of this cadence to the way that we talk, and when I pick up on it, it gets emphasized even more, and I don't know, and I'm like, he's good, but Nick Merckx, I watched him stream early on, and not too early on, like back like maybe he had like 200 subs, 300 subs back then. That's when I started watching him. I don't watch him that much anymore. Man, he blew up. He blew up big time. Probably why I like FaZe in the way that I do, because I saw Nick Merckx go through Gears of War and Call of Duty and all of that, and I enjoyed his content. I liked his community. I liked him as a character. I don't know if he's playing a character, or if he's actually, I don't know. I have no idea. At this point, like, his whole community's changed. It's mostly Fortnite kids, or mostly people from Fortnite, from the community of Fortnite. There are other people out there that I would have thought blown up. This guy named Jukebox360 from the Call of Duty community that didn't blow up as much as I thought he would. But I mean, hey, he's kind of more low key, on the low. There's a couple other Call of Duty community people that I used to watch when I was just, I was kind of playing Call of Duty a little bit, but I don't play it that much anymore. I don't think I even own Call of Duty, now that I think about it. I haven't bought it. I didn't buy Call of Duty yet. I have NBA 2K. I have Madden. And I downloaded Apex. So I could play those 3 games. I have CSGO on my computer. What else do I have? I have Apex on my computer. I've got America's Card Room. And then I had Quake Champions, but I still haven't played it one time. Just kind of, I don't know, man. Games, I enjoy watching games more than I think I enjoy playing them. Although I like to get my Madden on a little bit, or my NBA 2K on every once in a while, kind of go and play some online head-to-heads, because that's why I grew up. That was a weird noise. That's what I grew up doing. That's what I grew up playing. Somebody who took off on a bike or something. I don't know. But yeah, World of Warcraft, haven't played that in a long time. I think I don't even have an active sub. Yo, what's up? Snowgirl538, thank you for the follow on Mixer. We are finally going to figure out what recaps this and finishes and closes out this podcast. There has to be a way to close out this podcast. There is so much going on. A lot of production stuff. Trying to build esports business network. Trying to connect all of these what seemingly shouldn't be connected things, and putting the wires together and connecting the power cords and making it happen, making it happen for me, making it happen for my community, and making it happen for the industry. Then video production, I want to go out there and create amazing content. I want to advertise my video production company. I want to blow it up. I haven't read anything. No books. I'm not out here reading. Barely listening to podcasts. Barely consuming content. I mean, I'm passively watching YouTubes. Passively watching Twitch streams. I think the last thing to be said on this podcast before I end the recording is that if you're a content creator and you feel like you are stuck, or you have writer's block, or producer's block, or whatever, think about a subject matter that you're interested in, and find a event that you can go to and document that event. You can connect with the host, or connect with the people, and get and make sure that, like, whatever you're doing is, kosher or okay or whatever. But get out there, connect, network, and do. That's what I'm doing. And don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to take a risk, because you never know what's going to work. You don't know what's going to be successful. You got to take chances and make things happen. And on that note, I want to say thank you for tuning into this podcast. Follow me on anchor.fm/Trent Knox. Follow me on Instagram, Trent Knox TV. Follow me on Twitter, Trent Knox. Facebook, you can find it at Trent Knox TV. TikTok, Trent Knox TV. Yep, and that's all of it. So, while I appreciate you for listening to this podcast, I will hope to see you in the comments, and I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed and heard me on the next episode. Have a great night, evening, morning. Boom.